I'll just say it. You're a riot dev. You're a riot artist. You're a riot artist. So, there you are. I'm gonna invite you to this chat. Figured, yeah. All right, so without any further ado, we're gonna invite Sabrina in here. Riot Echo, and where are you? Why is this not working? There we go. Perfect. She's in. Okay. I got some words for Mr. Echo. It's actually not a Mr. How you doing, Sabrina?
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Living the dream. So, I'm going to start off by saying that this was probably one of the best VODs I've ever seen. One of the best VODs I've ever seen from a student. Yeah, I kind of already said that to you before, but it's
different when you use your voice.
yeah, I wanted to make sure that you understood that very well. So we're going to be looking at let me just get this back over here. We're going to be looking a little bit at the first VOD that you give, but while I'm looking that up right now, why don't you tell me a little bit about what your goals are and what it is that you want to accomplish in Valorant?
Dang, that's a good question. Well, first of all, like, I've kind of set this goal. I think back in November, I like hit Diamond, and I was like, I want to hit Immortal. A lot of my friends are Immortal. I like the way they play. I like the way they think about the game. And I set that goal because I realized that the more I played the game, the more it made me love my job. It made me better at my job. And I'm an environment artist, and like working on maps is like, you know, it's good to know like what kinds of angles do what kinds of things get in the way for players, like what is annoying and what is helpful, what colors are distracting. All of these types of things, it's just like, yeah, you can think about it as you're working on it. There's nothing better than like truly experiencing from the perspective of a player. So my goal has always been, you know, just like keep improving at the game. I want to be more useful to the team, like giving good feedback to design changes and stuff like that. It's just like I'd love to have more of a role as I continue here. I think being better and improving at the game is, you know, how I would naturally continue that way, I guess, to put it that way.
I love it.
So right now my short goal is to just like be able to stay in Immortal. I keep losing Immortal. I just got into it like a couple weeks ago, and I can feel myself getting better, but yeah, I guess a little more consistency.
Okay.
And apparently a chamber being nerfed means I need to be more comfortable playing a lot of different roles.
A chamber, as I said before to you last night, a chamber being nerfed is a fantastic opportunity for your own growth.
Great. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic opportunity for your own growth. So I'm excited for you when that nerf finally drops. Did you know that it was coming, and were you already preparing mentally? Okay.
Yes, I don't think I was preparing enough mentally.
Okay.
I think I kind of forgot about it.
Just as an added collateral, if you can give me notes for what's going to happen to the game for the next 6 months so I can prepare ahead of time and get C1 winning a lot more tournaments, that would be fantastic. You can give me that
I got
as well.
you. I'll just, yeah, I got you. My job's on the line. It's free. You got it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that.
I'll risk it all. I'll risk it all.
I love it. Now that I know that you're an environmental map artist, we will have a lot more conversations about what I feel should be changed. One of them being split. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do there. I have a suggestion for that, which I think would be really good, but I would love to test it before, because my theories could be wrong on what I think could happen here. But we talked about this before, Devin. We talked about potentially opening up a site to having another pathway directly into the bomb site, like having a long path, kind of like it's like train, DE train. Yeah, I was thinking that might be an option.
I should clarify. I am an artist, not a designer, so I do not.
But you're
going
to draw that, right? You can draw that though, right?
I don't make those types of decisions. It's to the designer. I make 3D models. So like the screen that we're seeing right now is like like I would be making this building and putting those pillars and putting the plants on top and like deciding the color of the sand and like but the gray box exists by the designer and that is like for them and like I can give feedback. We test every single week, like the team, the maps team specifically, and then like the whole other playtest that they're doing. We give feedback, and yeah, I'd like to be more involved as I'm a higher skill player, and you know, there's like more respect, I guess, towards what I have to say, you know.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, that's my situation.
I love it. Okay, awesome. What things do you feel you struggle with the most in game?
Mental, I think this is especially relevant. I don't know what the fuck happened, but after I reached out to you, I have gone through some of the worst ranked experiences, just like back to back toxic ass people. Um, so I struggle a lot with like if someone just says something bad, it's like no matter how much I try, it just to stop it, it gets to me. It fucking affects me somehow. Even if I immediately mute them, just knowing that someone is judging me and that they don't like me and that they don't approve of the way I play, just like immediately gets to my head and I prove them right.
Hmm.
Basically, I mean they're not right, but I let them think that they're right, which really fucking sucks. I also struggle a lot with just like running into sexist people, which I know isn't like extremely relevant to you guys, but it's like I already have this pressure of like being afraid of feeding a stereotype that women are bad at video games, you know what I mean? So I always feel like I have to do well. And
Hmm.
then like when someone has something like, you know, to say about it, something I can't control, you know, like my gender, it's just it really fucking sucks. And I have a really hard time getting out of that. So that happened to me a couple times this weekend. And it's just like match MVP, sexist person, I drop 5 kills. Next game, team MVP, like that's literally what happened. I was doing so well. And then like just a small comment of just like something like that can throw me off so bad. And yeah, sorry, that's my rant.
Okay.
It's because it's so fresh.
There's
I
a
don't know what
ton
to
of
say.
things to there's a ton of things to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, the easy answer is just to mute the person, but um, I want to first talk about you laid out a couple things. One of them being the sexist things, right? Let's talk about women in gaming. Here's my theory. I've watched plenty of VODs of women playing the game, and I would say, without question, within the next 10 years, men are in big trouble when it comes to dealing with women in game. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, women are going to be at top of the game because
I love to hear it.
you guys think on such a better level than men do. Men are very competitive by nature, and they're going to do everything they can to be able to stay on top, which is why they say the things that they say, right? They're trying to get in your head. So you don't want to let them live rent free in your head. But you guys, you'll see it in this VOD, for example. She is flawless with her fucking positioning here. It's so good that like literally I'm gonna probably take this VOD and talk about how to op in the game and just use this as a
Oh
representation,
well.
right? It's I'm not even kidding. Like I can literally use this entire VOD. So the key here is that there is no difference. The great thing about this game is that we got to be really realistic. In real life, men are physically going to be stronger than women. That's why there's a separation between men and women in sports, right?
Right, I agree.
We can't
Yeah,
have a man fight a woman in a boxing ring. Let's just be real. Okay? It's just not
yeah.
fair.
It's
Now
just
there
biology.
yeah, it's just biology. Now, if we had Amanda Nunes fighting one of the smaller guys, that could be an interesting pay-per-view. I think Amanda Nunes would kick the shit out of that guy, but that's another thing. But there's clearly biological differences here. In video games, we do not have that physical component. Now, there is components of training that I will talk about eventually in courses where you want to be able to develop the mental side of your game and your endurance and whatnot. But for the most part, you're not doing heavy lifting, you're not doing anything. So there's literally no massive advantage physically. But what you do have is the mental advantage. Guys think with their dicks all the time. All right. And the amount of times, even on the current C1 team, that I'm sitting there going like, God, guys, stop doing what you're doing. Like, why are you swinging this? It's because they're trying to peak with their ego. They're trying to peak and show off their dick. They don't want to say, hey, look how big it is, right? Whereas you And a lot of the females that I've worked with don't have that disadvantage, right? You have this great mentality of being able to play for your team, playing the numbers, all these different things. She is immortal, Dink. So there's just so much good stuff going on here. And I honestly believe in the next 10 years, because female gaming is still in its infancy, right? Like it's only been acceptable in the last few years, right? People have been, like women have been hiding their voices for years. Like it'd be like a miracle if I was going on a date and the girl said, "I'm a gamer, I play this." Like, what? Really? That's crazy, right? So it's more in its infancy. Give it time, guys. I promise you, men are in big trouble unless they start getting their act together. So don't let that get in your head. Okay? Do not let that get in your head. And you also need to audit. You also need to audit what people are saying and how you're taking it in for yourself, right? We have a choice.
Right.
We have a choice. Yeah. And we have a choice to take what we want from that person and what they say and make it a negative thing or a positive thing. Okay? Right? You make the choice, right? If Devin told me I was fat, I would say to Devin, I would be thinking about it in my head, I'm like, okay, is it I'm fat and I'm depressed now and I'm going to go and just like sit in a corner, or am I going to go do something about that? And is this going to be a positive thing, right? We choose to have an emotional reaction to the things that people say to us, right? It's not what they say that causes the problem. It's how you react to that, right? You control it. You control the stimulus. Exactly, Nick. Exactly. Okay. There was another piece that you said as well. What were the three things? You said something else for your mental. I'm losing it all now.
Fuck.
We're going to see it. What's that?
I guess I'm overwhelmed a little bit, so I don't remember. I'm a little frazzled right now.
No worries. No worries. Listen, this is a environment where you can be free to say anything that you want. This is a judgment-free zone. We're just here to make you better. Okay?
Thank you. Awesome.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk about the first VOD. I've been working with Devin for a long time. Been working with the C1 boys for a long time. So I hope they don't take I hope they don't take any offense to this, but this was the best VOD I've ever watched. Best playback VOD.
It's because I translate. So much pressure.
There's no pressure. This was so well done.
So hurt-worthy.
I'm sorry, Devin. He's putting us against each other already.
So he could take that as I have an opportunity to get better. Had Dink. Wow, he says. So Dink could take that as a constructive criticism to get a little bit better with his playstyle, or he can let that live rent free in his head. He can make that choice right now. Okay. Okay.
We start this off with my teammate gaslighting me, my duo gaslighting me.
So that being said, okay, we're going to highlight small nitpicks in here because for the overall, I'm gonna end up doing a whole video on this one, but the overall is really, really good. So we're gonna find small nitpicks, okay, really small ones. I want to know what your intention was in this moment. I want to know what the intention was.
I think I was hoping to catch a quick little headshot on the eco.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the retreating so far back, I'm not too I think I could tell from the way I was placing my util, I didn't have a plan before the round really started.
Okay.
I was kind of talking to somebody and not thinking real hard. And there were a couple of rounds in this VOD where I did that. It's just I was like a little frazzled trying to place my utility because I wasn't 100% sure what I truly wanted to do in that moment.
Okay, so then the death happened here. Let's watch how you take this round. Deal with this round.
All good.
You know, I could have won that round if I didn't fucking waste a bullet.
There it is. There it is.
Oh.
There's your death.
I see it. Oh, I see it.
There's your death, okay?
Oh, fuck, okay.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, I'm going to
didn't
ask you a
think about
question.
that.
Do you have a time machine?
No,
Okay.
shouldn't be a hindsight, Larry.
You cannot be hindsight. We can only focus on the game in front of us right now. It's the only thing that we can change. It's the only variable that we can change, right? So everything from this moment, once that round is over, it's in the past. Unless you've got a DeLorean. If you got a DeLorean, then we'll have another conversation. Okay?
Yeah, I wish.
You died here. I talk.
You know,
I can't stress enough. I do it in pretty much every VOD. Is have a plan. The moment you start your buy round, start thinking about what you want to do and why you want to do it. Because this movement that you do, this fight that you do, if you think about it, if you had time to think about it instead of what you were focusing on, which was the negatives of the last round, you probably wouldn't have taken a long range fight with a shorter range weapon versus a long range weapon.
Right, yeah. It's Breeze, it's a Jet, it's Window. They're gonna have a fucking Marshall. What am I thinking?
Yeah, it's not a fight that is going to be ideal for you. Anyone who's
Yeah.
picking you from window after they've won a pistol is probably going to have a longer range weapon, usually going to be a Marshall, right? Anyone
Yeah.
coming up closer is going to have typically a Spectre, something along those lines, right? So this was a question they had, and it's a small nitpick. Any thoughts here, Devin?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows kind of how you peaked as well. Like, you weren't really sure what you wanted to do, just kind of reiterating. If you were more confident, I think you could have killed the Jet there, even though it was not the best fight for you in that scenario.
Yeah, we always want to try to find the fights that are going to be most advantageous to us, and if we don't have to take those fights, then don't take them, right? Now, granted, this is an eco round, so taking risks like this is not a big deal because you've already accepted. You always want to have the mentality that you've already accepted that you're going to lose the round just by ecoing. So if you have that thought, your decision making for how you take fights is going to be a whole lot better. This is like another small nitpick. We're having a duel in the CP spawn, right? Are we focused on the plan, or are we just going to
We're not.
randomly run to the spot, right?
We are randomly gonna run for sure.
Yeah.
I would like to add though that sometimes this type of energy makes me perform really well, like having good vibes, having fun with my teammates. But yeah, I found myself a couple times, you know, struggling to figure out what I was going to do as the countdown was beeping at me.
Yeah.
And it's not ideal, and I'm not in an ideal position right now either. Like I don't want to be playing half wall. When like that's what I was thinking right now at this moment. I was like, I don't want to be right here.
Yeah, you don't want to be here. Listen, I love good vibes. I think that's really good, but you need to first be true to yourself and make sure that you're set up before you start having fun. Okay.
Yeah.
And think about it like this too. You know, regardless of how you feel about Josh still in the sand, he said the best thing I ever learned from him was everything that you're doing in game, if you're trying to practice, should be productive hours, right? So if you're here, if your intention when you jump into this rank game is to improve and get immortal or maintain immortal, then you are dialed in that exact moment and you are focusing on the objective of winning, whatever that is, right? If you want to play unrated and you want to shoot your Sova in the head, that's great, right? But if we're here to practice, we are here to practice during that time. I would rather you have 1 hour of solid practice than 4 hours of ranked where it's kind of mindless, right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense.
We're gonna talk about a pathing choice that you make here, and then we have two more things, and then we're gonna move on to Pearl. And this is gonna be my first real Pearl VOD review, and I'm glad that we have Devin here because he's gonna assist me on timings and mental projection because I have not played enough Pearl.
This is slide jump on the wall.
Yes, it is. Okay, I was surprised by the pathing choice here.
Yes.
What other options do you have?
I can group up with my Viper so I can actually trade her out. So it's where it could be peeking the same angle. Not jump on the wall and throw off my aim. I could go around backside.
I like going around backside. I like going around backside. So let's see what she did here.
I tried to get her little head, but
You said you tried to get a little head.
I tried to peek at her little head above
Okay.
the wall that she was behind.
What?
And
Okay.
it did not work out for me.
No.
And then I was begging my teammate or my duo to peek with the Viper because she was fighting. I knew the round was over. The second I died, I knew we lost the round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sad.
It's just little Christmas gifts, right? Little Christmas gifts.
Yep.
Always
I
assume.
love that. Christmas gifts.
Yeah, it's Christmas gifts. We don't want to give those away. We got to earn those.
1v3. Oof.
It's like, I always think of it like this. You know, I'm playing against Shroud, or I'm playing against Tens, I'm playing against someone who's really got good aim. Maybe a shirtless Celsius, whoever it is. I'm playing against someone, right?
Always shirtless.
Maybe it's someone like that. And I got to assume that they're going to hit all their shots all the time. They're going to be 100% accurate. So what's going to give me the best opportunity for a good fight here? I liked wrapping back sight to clear out this potential angle, and then just knowing that for sure that they're going to be right there. Okay. Let's move ahead. There was only literally 1, 2, 3, 4 mistakes that I can really dish out. And then I'm going to end up doing a full VOD on this one, I think. Full replay at some point. Okay. This is a small mistake. This is mental projection. This is timing in your head when people can be in certain spots. So I don't have my epic pen here, but the wall is right here. I think the teleporter is right here. Or not teleporter, the spawn wall is there. So how long does it take for someone to get to this position right here? Do you have that in your head?
Yes.
What do you think? How much time?
Oh, like actual seconds or something?
Yeah, actual seconds.
Like a second. It depends on how fast they're executing.
Yeah, you always want to assume the fastest amount of time. So let's say, okay, so we have a couple of things in chat, 4 or 5 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, cool. So 2 to 3 seconds might be the case if they have their knife out, which is possible, I think. And then Dink, I think more likely 4 to 5 seconds is probably what you're going to be looking at. Okay, so if you're holding an angle like this, you need to have that in your mentality. Okay. Someone probably would have swung you window by this point. Okay. Now it's time to shift over and place our crosshair right here. Okay. And you would be ready for this fight and probably have killed someone had you had known that. So you were right, Dink. 5 seconds is how long it takes for someone with gun out. Okay. Now, the art of fragging and winning games is not through crazy flicks that you see on TikTok. The art is getting your crosshair in the place that they're going to be before they are there. Okay? When you play like this, it is not sexy, but it will win you tournaments. You want to work way less. Okay? Small mistake. We don't have to worry about that. But that's the idea. Just like that. See how you had to flick into that? And it made it a lot more difficult for you. Any thoughts, Devin, as I switch the VODs here?
Nah, I think you covered basically anything that could really be talked about there.
Perfect. Okay, now we have Pearl. And Pearl is a great map because we're going to be talking about a lot of mental toughness stuff. And that's we're going to be giving you a couple of tools to audit some of the thoughts that you have and deal with a lot of the stressors that you're dealing with right now. Okay, let me know if you can see that.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. This thing is... There we go. Is the graphics all the way up? Good, we're good. Okay. So let's get into Pearl. Any questions so far?
Big chillin'.
Big chillin'. Love it. Big chillin'.
I'm excited for a full VOD. I guess it's a little tough to follow when we're jumping around a video.
Yeah. It was just like 2 or 3 things that we needed to like cover on as being correctives, and then we'll go into an actual thing. All of this, what I saw was okay. We're gonna move right to round 4. Okay. And then we'll start from there. Okay. So we won the first 3 rounds. And they are currently on an eco right now. Okay. Okay, our first mistake is right here. When we are on our own and the group is going together, we are immediately a lurk. Rare parrot. Pearl rare parrot. Someone said that in chat. We are currently a lurk, and there are some protocols and rules we need to follow when we are lurking. Devin, give me some of the protocols.
It is your job to remain alive for as long as possible, especially on a anti-eco, because you don't want to give them your gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, since you're chamber here, it's good because you can give yourself a TP to get out if you do happen to like get in a bad fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
My intention here before the round started was to place my TP aim in, and then I kind of like try and get a pick in like art, and then I TP back and continue with my team, just like hitting.
Yeah.
But I know what happened. It didn't go that way.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So we are trying to exist. That's the real key. You being alive is a big threat, and we don't want to be moving up and giving them close range fights if we can avoid it, especially when the full brunt of our forces is now hitting A main. Okay, so let's see how this happens. This is your mistake right here, this one movement, but we'll keep watching.
You're in the fucking open, bro.
Good kill. Close range fight, and you are too far up. Okay? All you needed to do, and Devin may have a different opinion on this too, because there's many ways of doing this, but all you need to do is stay here. You don't have to move up and take this space. In fact, if you're going to take that space, it should be much later into the round, because moving up right now on your own is too dangerous. Go ahead, Devin. Any thoughts?
I would say like staying top mid is good here. You know they're on pistols. You have like good fights from this position. If you do want to like go for a flank here, I think in Valorant especially, you have to play like really, really slow on your lurks. So honestly, waiting till like after your team has bomb down, and it's been like, I don't know, like 10 seconds after bomb's been planted. That's
it would have been a
start
whole
going.
different situation. Yeah, that's very true.
If you waited just like 10 more seconds, you would have had all three of those mid guys just walk into you,
Yeah.
and they would have been free kills.
Yeah, it's a matter of seconds. The game is won and lost on a matter of seconds, a matter of inches, if you will. So it's just a matter of, you need to have this protocol in your head, and the protocol is, if I'm lurking, if I'm on my own, I want to stay alive as long as possible. That's literally it. And if you have that in your head, then everything that Devin's talked about is going to naturally flow. There's an ebb and flow of that whole movement pattern that you're going to do. Okay, we'll watch it back one more time, then we'll move ahead. It's a little quiet, eh?
Oh yeah.
You can also think of it like you're anchoring on attack, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's the attack equivalent.
Yeah, it runs the same kind of rules as you would on CT. If you're playing on CT and you're an anchor, it's basically the same thing as a lurk. You want to be trying to exist as long as possible and staying alive as long as possible. We're going to move ahead.
Why is it the 10-year-olds are always fucking cracked? Like, why?
Because it got
not
nothing
wrong.
but time. It's got
That's what
nothing
I
but
just
time.
said. That's what I said. I was like, they don't have to they go to school all day. They don't take in any of the info, and they play video games like carefree.
They don't have to pay rent, nothing.
They don't have to worry about anything. They don't even. Politics doesn't exist.
Yeah. No one asked for a riot buddy. Okay, no. Did you see that in chat?
Yes.
Respect. No one's asked for a riot buddy yet.
It's because I have my name hidden. I always play on streamer mode because, or else that's what the whole game turns into. It's just, can I have a go? My enemy, my teammates. Anytime someone clutches something, can I have a gun buddy?
You'd probably hate me because I haven't bought a single skin in this game.
I don't hate you. I
Okay,
think
good.
you are smart.
You are
You're a
fired
hero.
now. You are so fired.
I've spent my hard-earned cash on this game, and I'm a sucker.
I will not make
I've
that into a
fallen into-
TikTok clip. I will not make that into a TikTok clip. I don't want to
Okay,
jeopardize your job.
please do not
Yeah.
jeopardize any riot associations.
This is a scary moment here.
Yeah, this is not good. And I played this very poorly. It's just like not knowing what to do, being too scared.
What would you do differently here?
I think all the spamming is good. I've randomly hit many Vipers because I play a lot of Viper. So I generally will know where they're standing, but she's probably tucked in on this map. You'll see there's this moment where we just like hover and we kind of just like hesitate and are not sure what to do. Here I like thought I heard something flank. I'm watching flank. I have a trip there. There's a few times where I do this. I'm just like not thinking, I'm frazzled. And I'm just like holding a position or a choke that's already covered. And I'm leaving my teammate alone like to get pushed by 4 people.
Regardless of there being a trap there, Jet could smoke and then walk by it. That is a possibility as well. So it's not wrong for you to look back there. I think it's fine.
I have a small question.
Yes.
Is there like a specific reason you prefer to put your TPs like up there rather than maybe having one like on the pillar and then one you could put more aggressively on the site?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a great question. I think it's because I had the op, so I was intending to hold from far for a while. And sometimes I do it when I'm just genuinely not confident in that initial first fight, but it would be far more useful if I use my TPs more aggressively.
We're actually going to
Yeah.
be talking about that specifically in a round that you're going to have in, I think actually it's round 8. Round 8, you're going to have that situation come up. So I'm glad that Devin pointed that out already. Anything else you want to add there, Devin?
I just think, especially when you have the op, like it's such a powerful gun, and they have the Viper wall there to block off main, it would be more beneficial for you to kind of take initiative with your
Yeah.
op and kind of lock down angles for your team, so it makes it easier for them.
The next big point that I make is going to be at 12:08, but we'll let this play out. See if there's anything else that Devin can pick up on. And I forgot to mention, the things that we're going to be working on, the learning objectives today, are going to be the mental projection, shooting yourself in the foot emotionally. Okay, we're going to be talking about that, and then controlling your emotions. So a lot of the mental stuff, because ultimately, I've said this to you before already in chat. You're an eagle, but you're pretending to be a chicken. Okay. Yeah. And what that means is you have the ability to fly, but you're choosing to walk, right? When you shoot yourself in the foot and you say things that are disservicing to yourself, you're making yourself worse than you actually are. You are a very good player. You are a very good player, and I want you to show that off. And we will talk about that as it comes. So, same situation. You are a lurk. Let's see how you deal with this. We're gonna repeat a mistake.
Yes, we are. And I'm not going to be happy. I got outplayed there.
That's unfortunate. Let's watch it again. It's unfortunate, but it's also an angle that you could have cleared.
Oh yes, big time. It's a common angle that's played too. It's just I play there sometimes. I've seen people be ready there, but I guess my brain assumed that because of all the noise happening on site, surely someone's not holding that. Yes, they are. I should clear it either way, no matter what.
You should clear it either way. The other piece too is that we do still have site control here. We have good control. We don't need to move really quickly. We can slowly, methodically clear things. Right? We don't have to rush in. The other piece too is that as a lurk, you're going to be responsible for clutching the round at the end. So if you come in a little bit later and then kill one, defusing the bomb, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this, Devin?
I would say he also may have heard you put down your TP, so that might be why he's like hard holding you.
That's so true. I forget that so often.
Yeah, and then I have another tiny little micro thing. the spot where you put your trip. When I play
Yeah.
chamber on pro, I personally put it more like in the middle, so it like it's more in the doorway to top mid.
Oh, so it's like
Does that make
protected
sense?
from very far.
Yeah, so they can't sit like in the little cubby top mid and
Yeah,
catch you.
yeah, yeah.
That's just like a little thing.
Where
I
would you
see.
put that?
Cool.
So I can mark it on the minimap for everyone.
Like right in the doorway, like literally.
You're
no,
talking
no,
about here?
towards
Or here?
T-spawn. where
The
chip
initial
is.
doorway, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah, right there.
Just like right in the opening of the doorway,
Yep.
right?
Yep. That way it's like it blocks off both sides like fully, so they can't like
I see. They can't lurk up into the room.
yeah, and just like sit in front of the trip, you know, because some
I
people
see.
won't be ready.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. That's good to know.
It's kind of like when you see chambers put the trip for window on Haven on a tech. It's kind of the same thing. You put it in the middle.
I actually don't think I do that. That makes way more sense.
We're gonna move ahead. Since you're not live here.
Man, you just blew up my brain with the Haven one. Because I've had so many people lurk up window, and
Yeah.
I've been very frustrated by that. That makes so much more sense.
Especially in ranked, because people just push everything
No,
and stuff.
yeah.
Your dog is fucking useless for this long ass angle.
He did not like that dog.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy did that dog many times, and he did not like that.
Is that the best way to communicate this to this person? Probably not. All right.
Oh no, that was in Discord.
Yeah, he didn't say
But-
it in game. Thankfully.
Okay.
But I agree.
Okay.
I would be very mad if my duo was being toxic outwardly to people. I mean, it's good to not be toxic ever. doesn't serve anybody.
Yeah.
We all shit talk with our duo.
Yeah.
Other ranked teammates.
A lot of shit talking.
As long as it's
Oh, wow.
expected.
I'm a red diff. I don't shit talk.
As long as
I'm a
it's
noble person.
expected that you guys are gonna do shit like that to each other just to like raise each other or haze each other, then that's fine.
Right.
As long as the environment allows for that. Definitely not something you want to say to someone who's just playing ranked and you just queued with them accidentally and they just showed up.
Our Sky is a trooper for this.
Sorry, you said it again? Our Sky has a what?
He's a trooper for that. He was pushing site. I was like saying that we need to commit. We need to do something, and no one was committing, so I was like, let's just rotate because we've stood here for so long, made so much noise. They probably all rotate. But he decided to just commit, and then he got 2 kills and like got us site. He went crazy. Man advantage.
Yeah, you heard me talk about this in the last VOD. Let's watch what you do.
It's not.
It wasn't in this
find-
situation, I don't think, but maybe it is.
Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, it is.
Here she goes.
Bombs down.
Mhm.
Where do you want to be? Where can you
Holding
be?
bomb. I could be long.
You could be
Dog
long.
would be great. It's planted for long.
You don't have to be up that close. You
I
can just
could
be
be in
holding
my
an angle.
TP.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that close. This is a form of Christmas because when they come through, they're looking for kills, right? Timers against them. They're going to be moving quick, and they're going to probably hard clear this because, hey, why not, right? They've already lost the round. Statistically, they've lost the round, so they can take wide swing risks and just try to look for kills. The only way you get them back in is if they kill you early enough that this bomb timer is still in its infancy, right? So this is a concept called stretching. Stretching is about, in your post plant, how far can I go so that I'm able to still watch the bomb effectively, but at the same time be able to get as much time burnt off the clock before they take this first fight with me over here. Make sense?
Yes. Makes a lot of sense.
I have a question as to where your head was in
Here-
this moment.
I had my teammate elbow. They kind of repositioned here to the other opening. I was thinking maybe they like peek off my contact, but that's something I
Yep.
should have calmed. And another thing
That's
was
what I was
I was hoping I could catch them off guard because I personally don't clear this sharp close that often in like a high tense situation. So those were my thoughts. my thoughts.
Yeah.
Like hopefully catch him off guard, and then my teammates elbow, we can fight together. But
I think if
I
your
didn't- I
fade
didn't come.
stayed elbow, this was a decent setup. Because if they do clear you, they're like hard. They're at like a 90-degree angle from where your fade is.
Right.
So it should
Yeah.
be an easy cleanup for him. But
I
he
didn't come that.
left
Yeah.
you to die. So
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really comment, so it's on both of you. But
And then there I go. I got
And-
impatient.
And it's okay because it ends up being a 2v1, but you didn't have to be there in general. Didn't
Yeah.
have to be there.
No reason.
We move ahead. Unlucky. I hate hearing unlucky. It's just like, was it really?
I say it ironically.
Okay, good. Because I hear it all the time in my student VODs. I'm like, really? Was that
No,
unlucky?
I was saying unlucky to them, to the guy that lost the round. I was like, it's unlucky for him. That's a joke.
I feel like Pearl is just rush B, rush B, rush B. The more I watch VODs. Is this right, Devin? We just rush B.
yeah.
It depends, I think. I think A is like very easy to take if you have a Viper. Like you're walling off the two like chokes are in the backside, and then you can like throw your orb, and then like there is nowhere for them to defend. And it's just like I kept going because I was chamber. I wanted to go for those long range fights. Like generally my pistol on ecos or an op or my ult.
Here's
But
a
yes, we were.
here's a
going for
map
it.
design issue for a site that you can maybe start talking about with Riot. So what I've circled here, you can see it on the mini map. I can just write it down. Here's our first fight.
So I don't think I see what you're actually drawing. All I see is the icon.
You'd have to look at my stream to be able to see it, but you can look back on the VOD afterwards. Basically, I put 1, 2, and 3 here. The first fight on A is going to be on this section right here. Okay. The next fight is going to be on this one to this fight right here. Number 2. The third fight is going to be back sight to this entryway right here. So the problem with this map and the reason why everyone goes this way is because it's a shit show where you have to fight 3 fights before you can actually get into the bomb site to plant. And that's the problem. You have 3 staging grounds, right?
Yeah.
So that's why people are funneling down towards there. Now, an easy fix for that, open up art. Open up this pathway into art. And this makes it much harder for people to play this spot right here, down here.
Interesting.
And then you have the more defensible position here, because right now you have, even over here, we have staging ground 1, then we have staging ground 2, and then you finally have staging ground 3. It's 3 fights that are just really awkward, and you even have a 4th one in the vents. So it makes it really, really tough for the T's to want to path down that way. So that's why everyone's sort of funneling down B, because the first fight they're going to take is right here if they pushed up. And then the second fight they're going to take is on site pretty much, right? Maybe you'll have one cubby. So there's only, it's really easy as a team to just clear this whole thing out. Anyways, just throwing it out there as thoughts. I don't know anything. I'm just a player and a coach.
No, I'm with you.
I could just rush B in ranked because usually people only play 1B. You can just run it down for free.
Yeah, and it just feels safer too, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Post plant started. Tell me where you think post plant starts. This is actually a protocol that I do with a lot of students, and everyone in chat can tell me when post plant starts.
I mean, we have sight right now.
In my opinion, post plant started
One chamber TP'd.
here. Started here.
Sight's clear.
So we need to start taking space. You're the first one in. You've elected to be the entry fragger here. I don't know if it's the best option being a chamber, because I don't really play chamber a whole lot. But that being said, we need to start taking space. My immediate reaction right now is to take the U-Haul. I call it space suit because there's a space suit right here, but U-Haul, whatever the case may be. What do you call
I
it,
just
Devin?
call it elbow.
Probably elbow.
Elbow? Okay.
Yeah.
I would take that space over there.
Yeah.
Because if you look...
That would be a better choice than what I'm about to do.
Well, if you look, everyone else is right through here already. So what you're doing is you're going to sit in a position that it's a little awkward for you because right now you're in a position where the enemy is kind of in front of you, but there's 1, 2, and 3 angles they can swing out on you once those smokes are gone. Okay? And
That's why I do this.
And we only have half the site control. We just elected to give them half the site control. So if you're over here, we now have full site control. And then we're now not just playing from in the site, but now we have eyes on the lanes. Okay? These are the 4 lanes to get back into retake. Okay? Let me do this again really quick so that everyone can see it properly on stream. You have 1 lane through here, you have 1 lane through here, 1 lane through here, and 1 lane through here. 4 lanes. Okay? We want to have control over those lanes as much as we possibly can to limit how many times people can be pushing in from certain spots. So, here's what we do.
I follow the dog.
Where were your
try to
eyes? Where were your eyes when you did this?
Following the dog. I should have looked at the minimap.
You
I
should
was
be-
staring at the dog.
I should be on the mini-map. Exactly, because the dog is clearing everything else out. I
got me
don't
great
believe... Sorry, go ahead.
I said the dog gave me great info there.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't believe that you should be doing this. I do know that you have a
Me
TV,
neither.
but regardless, I think that playing the backside would have been better. But
Well,
you
this is
knew
very
when... Mm-hmm.
I thought that the dog hit him for some reason. It didn't make the sound. I was very wrong. And yeah, I shouldn't have been pushing it either way. But I realized I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to get out of that alive, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Now, here's the problem, too, is that the bomb timer is still in its infancy right now, and we have just given up all site control now because of that decision. So now we're going to be playing all the way back here, which is a problem. Okay? There was another point I was going to make that I lost as I did that. That's too bad. I'm sure Devin's probably thinking about it.
Something great happens now.
Yeah, they get the defuse, right? They thrifty.
Yeah, my Ray's got 2 kills, and for some reason I thought he killed the bomb planet. I was very convinced by that fact.
Yeah.
And I was cued with him, so I was very surprised that he didn't kill the diffuser.
I think this echoes the point that Devin was going to make in that first round. You know, place your TP over here, have a TP over here, something like that, and then you have that connection that you can get out of this spot.
So
But at the very least, your first fight could be right here, right from this spot right there. And then you're at least holding it, and then they're worried about getting in there instead of giving them the space right away. Any points to make on that one, Devin?
I think your team playing back like that is fine if the bomb is planted for you.
Planted for us, yeah.
That too.
Yeah, but it was planted safe, so like you basically had to fight for sight, but
That's
everyone fell back.
Yeah, it wasn't a really ideal post-plant position, for sure.
Yeah.
But you had to play
And you guys,
accordingly.
I'm pretty sure they're on eco that round, so it's definitely good for you guys to just stay on site and just take gunfights. You have the advantage.
This is good.
That was a good play.
Really good play.
Caught the timing.
Thank you. I'm glad it worked out. I almost shot the dog instead of her.
We want to be keeping mental notes in terms of mental projection of where people are playing, right? We've seen Sova and Jet here. I'm guessing there's probably 1A,
Yep.
1 middle, and 1B. And I've seen that several times already. So having that mental projection, we know where we're going to take our next fights. There could very well be someone pushing you right here in a few seconds. I could be wrong. Because they could also rotate through here. Okay,
Mhm.
but they're assuming that they're doing something. Either they're doing something towards mid, or you're doing something towards mid to go flank on A, or they're pushing you down. So they know exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah. I was confident that we should have gone B here, but my team wanted to go A.
Yeah, with the setup they've been doing with Jet and Sova, we gotta assume that we're probably gonna see Jet. Well, maybe we'll see Sova and we'll see Jet over here, something along those lines. And they're gonna end up running into a shit show right now. Okay, so they pull away. That's good. You can take a fight
Not
here.
me.
Holy crap!
Ooh.
You can take a fight here. I don't know if you're ready for it. Let's watch it again.
I don't think I would.
Yeah, we weren't. Our crosshair wasn't quite in the right spot.
No,
for that.
I literally looked at the minimap at that exact moment, and I had no reason to.
Yeah,
I don't
no
know
reason.
why I do that. Sometimes I just look at my minimap when there's zero info to look at.
Hello, Nanera. Welcome in. Yeah, there's timings to be looking at the minimap for sure. This case, you knew that you had no control. If we go back here, let's look at this. Your threats come from here. I love drawing this line. Okay, so we're gonna go from here to here. Threats are all over. This is a tough line to draw. Threats can come from here. And then there. And if we draw this line over here, your threats can come from here. This is a tough one. Okay. You can be attacked from any of these angles.
See.
Okay. So you're just having that mental projection. This is the reason why going up mid in any kind of map is kind of difficult, because now you're in the middle of the gates of hell, which is a TikTok I posted today. So you need to be ready for this fight, because there's your first threat. So you're ready for that one. And then if you're going to look, you could have died from here because your crosshair placement's not right.
I was not ready.
And then from here.
Or that. Yeah.
So you know from here, if you were to draw that line in your head, this is where people are going to be. Nanera, how you doing? Welcome. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
And yeah, Dink, that's exactly what we're talking about. Put the TP behind pillar, one on elbow, and get a pick and TP it out. You're
Yep. That's what I was
right.
hoping.
So we'll move ahead. Okay. Looks like we're forcing here. Perhaps one say, oh, nice, awesome, welcome, welcome. Minx, how you doing? Welcome in. I forgot that was set up. Yeah, Nanera, I need help with dealing with all those auto mod things. Notice
RIP.
Notice the dart.
Ooh, some of that. Yeah.
Notice the dart, right? And here is the call out. If you were Chamber, what would you do after you get that kill? What would you say?
Well, there'll be.
Yeah, they could be rushing B, right? And there's like, oh shit, there's like 3B, 4B, right?
Uh-huh.
The Sova dart, we know how close these guys play up, right? We've seen
Yeah.
Jet, and so where do you think they're going to be on mid? They're probably going to push right through and start
They're
flanking.
taking, yeah.
Yeah, they're taking mid control. The guys on A are already rotating out at this point. Okay, so mental projection again. Man, this Brimstone's got like balls of steel right now.
He's just going for it.
Yeah, this guy's just like, fuck, I got my iPad out, I'm ready to
We
go.
need some smokes. Get them now.
Damn.
Flappy Birds cannot wait.
What was
Let's
that?
play.
Flappy Birds
cannot wait, dude.
Flappy Birds cannot wait.
Gotta whip out the iPad.
He's just playing a
Hit a
Flappy
high
Birds on his
score.
iPad.
Big Dick Brim, yes, that's right. Big Dick Brim. Love it. They're already all over the place. There's your
Yep,
Sova,
there's
who's
Sova.
flanking.
There he is.
There's
Yep.
probably a Jet. And then you're gonna have one here and probably Chamber up here and then one on CT. That's where I'm predicting everyone to be right now because the rotate's already full at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They're just waiting. This is an idea of suffocation again. So the promise or the premise of suffocation is that we're cutting off the play area. This is our area to play. This is our playground. Everywhere else is owned currently by the enemy team. They have many pathways into the bomb site. This is where it gets a little bit scary. When you are down men or down players, we want to make sure that we're trying to even the numbers or make plays to be able to set up a multi-frag. Boom! Even the numbers. That was a mistake on his part. You swinging again.
This was a mistake.
This was a mistake on your part. And this is where I come to the point. Sorry, go ahead.
Commit. And not only that, but I am committing to this fight. I am going to crouch and commit when there's 2 people staring or one more person staring at me. I saw the op and I was like, I want him dead. I want the opper.
Yeah. We don't need to make TikTok clips on every single play we play.
Yeah.
That's what I always say, is that we don't get the kill and just win it from there. Also look at what we've got for alts here too, right? So not only do we have to worry about what they've got, but we have to also think about what we have too, because we can stall out the bomb plant and the defusal much easier with these ults, right? Raze, all she has to do right now is she pops her ult and no one's going to move into the site, right? They're all going to play defensively until they have to move up. So she can just literally hit her ult and that's it, and just stay alive. Yeah, buys us time. And then guess what else we've got? We've got Big Dick Brimstone with his ult, who can also stall at the bomb defusal. See, just like, I wish you didn't shoot it, but if you just hold it, everyone goes, oh fuck, run away. Look at how the jet moved. The jet moved back.
It saved my life. They all fell off.
Now the only issue is that Viper's gonna probably pop her ult here, and they might click the bomb early to get that ult out, and then you guys are in that same shitty situation that you were in when we gave up the plant on this position. Right, because you know Viper is going to throw a wall right across here again. If she hasn't already used the wall. Luckily, they're all bad. Never mind.
Yep. Very winnable round. We had everything set up for us.
And that's the power there of suffocation. That's the power of limiting the play area. Okay, Nanero, see you later.
I think on a macro level on this map, I know your team is like grouping and hitting sites a lot. Use the chamber. This map, I feel from at least my experience playing it, is very what's the word? It's very well designed for you to lurk.
Yeah.
Right. And
Ready map.
especially on chamber, you can since the map is so compact in some areas, you can like bounce around a lot with your TPs. So it opens up a lot of room for your team can be 5-manning, and then if you find an opening somewhere towards A, you can easily call them back and you win more rounds because of it.
This guy does something huge here. There's a guy cubby. There's a chamber he TP'd out.
This is all good crosshair placement. You get this kill. And here's my question to you. Okay? We've seen the setup being 1-1-2-1. Kind of like that, right? But are we 100% sure that this bomb site is clear?
No. I'm not.
Okay. I was a little concerned about you throwing the TP and having it out in your hands.
Yeah,
it's a
I
little
was just
nitpick.
vulnerable. And I in that moment, I feel vulnerable. I know that I shouldn't just like be running out with my util, but I'm fucking doing it and being nervous about it.
Yeah, and sure as the light of day, there's your second player.
Oof.
And he
That
could have
that ult
swung
saved the round, basically.
you. Yeah. He could have swung you much earlier. He was actually playing down here. So there was actually 2 on site this time, right? And we didn't know 100%. there's another VOD. There's another VOD today that we're gonna see people just leaving bomb behind, and it's like okay, guys, just agree early on where you want to go and just bring the bomb as close as possible as we can. We're looking
Yeah,
at Immortal right now, Minx, and our next VOD is going to be Bronze 1. So we got all different varieties.
I thought the Viper would push my way.
Well,
but
she has to
didn't
get
really.
out of here, I'd imagine.
Yeah, she ended up pushing the Fade instead.
Yeah,
You know.
one of the two, one of you guys are gonna get pushed for sure. I don't think you have the time, but I was thinking maybe going A there, but it worked out. You got the teleporter, so that makes sense. Okay. Something happens here because I wrote a note and I said, "Man, that was ballsy as fuck." What was the thought process here? Question mark. So let's see what happens. Something amazing is gonna happen. Oh, so it's literally the thing I was talking about. How there's 3 fights that you take, right? Yeah. Okay. So this was ballsy as fuck.
Why did I do? It's because we were all talking and laughing, and I was not at all prepared for the round.
Okay.
I
So
was not.
remember,
I cringe at this so bad. It's so bad.
it's a nice knife. It's a really nice knife. I love it.
It's not. It's not worth it. It's not worth
Did you pay for that knife or did they give it to you?
Oh,
Be
I
real.
paid for it.
Really?
We basically buy almost all of our skins because they want us to experience the game through like player perspective 100%.
That
we
is the
don't get,
biggest
like,
bullshit I've ever
any-
heard in my life.
I can't say anything, but I'm spending a lot of money on my game.
Oh my god.
I understand the reasoning, but it's tough. These skins are pricey.
Okay, fair enough. I'll let you do it. I'm not gonna.
It's a good knife
that's
though. It's a
funny.
good knife. Xeno Hunter, best one.
She is a Riot artist, 3D artist. Is that right?
Yes.
Right, 3D artist. Okay, cool. Love the knife. Don't want to see it. In this particular situation. So
The Jet wanted to see it. The Jet
they don't have the comp.
excited to see it.
So they don't have the comp to take a first fight on here right now.
Yeah.
And they're not using any utility to gain control of that section, so there's no Viper walls or anything like that. So we don't have to worry about this first fight. But it's still ballsy because someone could have pushed up, and
I was confident
thinking,
no one did. I don't know why, but I was. And our Raze took the fucking shot for it.
I mean, you were confident in that, but I don't think you were cognizant of the threat of a potential opper. And we didn't even run into that op. We ran into this one.
Yeah.
Right?
I heard the op. I'm like, oh, he's on beat. I'm good. And then Jet pulls up with an op.
We not good. We not good.
We not
Okay.
good.
This is very similar to the TikTok video that a lot of people gave me a lot of flack for because I didn't edit it properly when I was saying you're peeking this wrong, don't peek like that. We aren't taking in our threats. We aren't assuming that there could be an op. If we look at our scoreboard before, we need to be able to do a quick little threat assessment. I'm not even sure if you hit tab. There it is. Perfect. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, what are our threats? We have 6600. Okay, so that could be an op. We have 6100. That could be an op, right? So we have 2 ops. We also have an ult.
And we have all, yeah.
Yeah. So our pre-round plan, we need to be assuming that there could be a threat here. Okay. Your Fade never calls out how many are on site either, which annoys the shit out of me. Like, you can hear the tings, and it's
Yeah,
easy to
that
just be
bothers me
like,
too.
it's easy to just be like, oh, there's 4 on A or whatever.
Yeah, I usually wait until she says there's a voice line that's like, oh, got 3 or something. But I would much rather get the info way sooner.
Yeah, and the other thing too is as you're watching it go across your minimap, you hear a ting. Like, let's say, for example, this alt goes right along here. You hear a ting. Well, it probably means that they're going to be right there, right? They're going to be hard right corner.
That's true. Yeah,
You can time it out,
That's
right?
really good info.
Yeah, you can time it out. And like, when I was playing Fade, I'm like, right. I literally just like press Z my Z button and just put marks like right here, right here, right here, right.
That's smart. That's smart.
I love Fade. I don't play enough
Yeah, that's great.
anymore, but if I was playing, I'd probably play a lot of Fade. Someone ping it? That was a Counter-Strike spray. Just want to say for the record.
Yeah.
I think Devin was going to say that too.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
I played a lot of
Hold
CS.
down, left click and pray.
Left click and press. It took me a long time to ditch the crouch move spray
Yeah, the crab walk.
habit. The crab walk. Oh man,
Yeah.
that kept me in silver for a minute.
Yeah, you can't do it in this game. Unfortunately.
My
Tryna
mechanics
cha-cha
are
slide on some motherfuckers.
my mechanics are so trash from like 20 different games that I played that are basically the same thing that I will often like
so
watch my. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying they're also similar.
They're also similar, and I feel like I'm playing the same game. I'm there's so many times where I'm like, oh, that was Soldier Front 2. I should not have done that. Or that was Combat Arms. Should not have done that. That was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Shouldn't have done that. Like I can literally just like list a whole bunch of things. So I'm sitting there going like, fuck, man. Like I just fucking mechanically just fucked up there. You're out.
I couldn't trade you. I'm so sorry. I'm coming for a kill. Do you have heal? Tell me.
See, hang on. He apologized. You apologized. I love that. My bad. Right? Unlike
Yeah, because I told him to play with me, and I was confident we'd get at least one.
unlike Scourge, who hung out his teammate to dry and didn't even apologize the fade. Huh? Got you, Scourge. In our last VOD, that's what happened.
That's it.
Round 14 is when I start making notes on this one, so I think we end up losing here. Ass 3. What was okay? So did Riot like
No,
think that was gonna happen?
no, not at all, not at all.
That's so
It's
funny.
it's the same like the Breeze like titty thing,
Yeah.
and it's like at this point now we're like thinking about it, like are these people gonna say that this looks like poop or something? Like we're like trying to anticipate that and try to avoid it. I'm just like personally, I love when this is not how I don't speak for Riot, but personally I love when shit just like the community takes on their own ways of calming something or describing something. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
This round's over. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much you can do at that point. You're already men down. You just need to make a play of some kind to try to get something going, right? Notice their positioning on that post plant. Right? Notice the
Way better.
positioning. Well, it's not that it's way better. It's, we did this on T side. They had control. We talked about this. They had control of this section, right? They had control of this whole pathway right through here. So
That's
having that is huge. And you can see the effect of it, right? If you watch this again,
Yep.
you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. They did the thing that Worthy was talking about just now.
Suffocating.
Okay. As always, Devin, chime in whenever you got something.
Yes, sir.
Tear me apart.
I'm
like
here.
crazy. Here I'm like, I sure hope they're dumb enough to push this on an eco.
I love buying the shorty in chamber. Going for cheese kills.
Yeah.
The Minx
It's so
says,
good.
the real Minx says, my mechanics areas and I don't know how to fix the bad habits I've made. Okay, well, you'd have to look at your VOD, Minx, to really know what's going on.
Those aren't real odds.
Or ass. Are they ass one, Minx? I remember when that first came out on the TikTok, I'm like, it's so good. I'm ass.
So was this a good call here? I told the 3 teammates that are behind me, I'm like, let's just all flank them. Maybe it'll catch them off guard.
This is called flipping the map.
Yep.
I've taught Devin this before. I'm gonna test Devin and see what he knows about flipping the map. Go ahead, explain flipping the map.
All right, flipping the map. Okay, this is where you basically, you play T side, but you're on CT.
Mm-hmm.
Very good on ecos from past experience, especially if you go fast because you can catch them off guard pretty well. I think the biggest thing is like on Icebox, for example, teams like they'll run it down A, right? A really good way to counter it, because you can't really hold A that well, is just like 3-4 man flank, just like off the rip.
Yeah.
That's way better than me telling everybody to just push A 5-man slam.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, but sometimes it really does not at all.
So one thing.
It's a good way to counter fast play.
Yeah, definitely. And just like taking ground. There was a game I played called Crossfire, and a lot of the pros right now in the pro scene are actually from Crossfire too, which is funny. But we used to play in a tournament called WCG back in the day, World Cyber Games. That was like the Olympics for gaming. So we played in this one tournament, and I realized a tendency that we were really bad on our. It was Dust 2, but it was called Black Widow. So Dust 2, we were really, really bad on our CT side. So I sat there one night and said, why the fuck are we playing defense? Let's just play offense every single time. So we would take a certain section of the map, let's say, for example, B long on this map, and we would just run 4 down there, and we'd have one lurking like A and then playing back, and we would just flip the map and we would just start attacking because we were better on attack than we were on defense. Let's bring the fight to them as opposed to them bringing the fight to us. And we ended up, I remember losing, or not losing, but we won that game. I think the score line for those games were up to 12, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up going like 1-16 or something stupid like that. But we ended up winning against a team that was on paper way better than us because they didn't know and couldn't expect what was going on.
I called for it, but then only this guy came. Just
Yeah, so even though we broke that, even though that trip got us, it's still good because we're now in a position where we have all the lanes. We have all the lanes at control here to retake, and their whole play area is just in there, right? Which is good, so we can force a lot of closer range fights.
I was not anticipating this.
Yeah, the issue here too is that you make the right comm to do this, but I would be a little bit more frantic with how urgent it should be. You can say things like stack on me, follow me, trust. Sometimes you just gotta say trust, right?
Yeah, I do struggle with that. I've often had times where I would calm something that would have won us around, but I wasn't confident enough, and I would be like, oh, we should do this, right? And then like hope my team just like agrees, like not trying to be too aggressive or I guess bossy.
Yeah, it's not so much a bossy thing. Just like say, we flank here. I think we flank here. Trust. Follow me.
But then also another thing is like if my idea doesn't work, I feel bad and like I feel like I single-handedly cost us the round because I made a bad comm or a bad idea.
Okay, so let's audit this first.
You know what I mean?
Let's audit this. Okay.
I can sympathize.
Okay, so we'll audit this for both of you. Okay. Question for you, both. What round are we on right now? What do we have?
Eco.
We're on an eco round. Okay. Even if you make the wrong decision here and it doesn't work out, it's not a big deal, right? And we just need to reinforce this.
True.
If someone talks shit to you, there's a magical button called the mute button.
Don't worry, I use it all the time. Big fan.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of it too, right? These people that you're playing with, I mean, minus maybe the duo, probably have zero competitive experience and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about at all. You know, one of the realizations that I made on this really was in the gym actually. So I'm a personal trainer, been doing it for 7 years, and having the experience of learning how to actually train your body properly, you'd be surprised with how few people in the gym that are going regularly know what the fuck they're doing. They have absolutely no clue. They're all headless chickens. And a lot of the situations that we end up dealing with where we have this mentality that we're worried about what people are thinking about us, they have that same fear or sometimes even more. So one of the common feedbacks I get when people say they have gym anxiety, for example, is that I'm worried about what people are going to think about me, right? When in reality, when I walk around the gym, 9 out of 10 people have no idea what they're doing in the gym. And when they look at me, they are concerned. And even when they're looking at someone who's brand new, they're concerned, guess what, about what those people are thinking about them. Because they're afraid to be looking like a fool. Right?
That's very true.
So the mentality is that we're all afraid of this. But if you can separate yourself from this fear and not think about what people are thinking about you, you're going to be a much better player for that. And the way that you do that is simply audit your thoughts, right? Is this a video I'm playing in my head that only I can see? And if the answer is yes, then I need to get rid of that video because I'm playing a movie in my head. That's the first step, right? The other things that you need to think about too is that these people that you're playing with besides your duo, are you ever going to play with them again?
Probably not.
Probably not. Are they going to remember at 1 minute, 27 seconds of round 20, whatever it is? I can't do math. Okay. Whatever it is. At round this on August 31st, or sorry, July 31st of 2022 at 4:30 p.m. Are they going to remember that you made this call 10 years from now?
Of course not.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Are they going to, at the end of the day, look at you as being the leading cause for winning or losing this game? Or are they going to completely forget that they probably lost this game? Because they've played probably like 10 games. Probably going to forget. Is this game going to radically change the future of the planet Earth as we know it if we win or lose?
No.
Does this game define us as a player?
No.
No, because we have many opportunities. And listen, you're going to hear me say this in this VOD. You have a very, very high potential, very high skill ceiling to get really, really good at this game. And the only thing stopping you is you. You got to beat you first. So when you have these thoughts come into your head, I want you to take an audit of your thoughts and ask yourself, is this a serving thought towards the goal that I'm trying to achieve? Whatever that be it a professional gamer. Is it serving me? Or is it taking away from me? And you can just simply ask those questions, right? Anytime you're feeling this way, just sit there and pause for a second and say, how is this thought helping me? If it's not, then I need to flush it because it's not going to assist me. And if someone is giving you a really hard time and reinforcing your fears, you use the magical mute button.
Yeah.
Okay? When you're on a team and you have your brothers and sisters supporting you on a regular basis, they're not going to be giving you this shit. So this one game, this one round, this one moment in time will never define you as a player and is never going to have that effect on you negatively as long as you fight it first. Fight against it first. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Beautiful.
a very good way to put it. I love that.
I think another thing to add on to that, other than that general mindset, is like when you do call a play, don't worry about it being like the best play or whatever. It's better to like call something and have your teammates be on the same page with you rather than just, everyone's doing their own thing. That's
that's
just
true.
the way I like to look at it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And sometimes too, like just admitting, what's really good is if it doesn't work, just say, well, that fucked up. That was not a good play. And just do it, open it as a joke.
Yeah.
The person who can admit their own faults is the one that's going to win an army of followers and friends, right? There's a really, really good book out there. I'm going to be talking about it later on. I hate reading, but there's a really good book called How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And I highly recommend that you read that book.
I've read that book. It's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Highly applicable in life and highly applicable in game. person who can admit their faults is the one that's going to get the most amount of friends, right? And maybe your goal is to make a whole bunch of friends, right? And if your goal is to make a whole bunch of friends, then you thinking the way that you're thinking is not using a vehicle that is serving that goal, right? If I'm going to sit there and just be down on myself for a decision that I made, that I'm worried that people are going to think really negative things about me, then that's not a really effective vehicle. That's like a vehicle with a flat tire at that point towards the goal that I'm trying to achieve.
It's true.
Could you turn in-game audio up, or do you turn it down on purpose? Sorry, I turned it down just so that people can talk. It's very low though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have it pretty low. It's my bad. I realized after uploading it that my computer audio was maxed out and my headphones audio was maxed out.
Nice kill. Huge kill. What the fuck happened there?
That was a 10-year-old. Something happened to him. I don't know what it was. Oh, he ran into Viper. And he still killed him. I love it.
He looked to the right for a second to clear this.
I was wondering what happened.
That's a good shot too. That's a pressure shot with the Guardian. Let's watch it again. Everyone
That's
listen
great.
up.
That's a first bullet accuracy right there. Right on cue. Love
So is the Guardian more accurate than the Vandal in first bullet?
it. It should
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, this.
I'm gonna use the Guardian from now on. Fuck the Vandal.
Oh, the Guardian's good, dude. People.
I
sleep on the Guardian.
like. Yeah, I agree. I use the Guardian for warming up.
And you can 3-tap people in the body too, which is still like viable.
It feels like a little awkward, but when you get past, I don't know, just like how the gun feels and sounds, it's really strong. I don't know. It's definitely something.
I love using the
That and
ADS
the
with the
Bulldog.
Guardian. It's so good.
ADS, you said?
Clean.
ADS with the Guardian? Yeah. Okay, so I think this is round 18, and we're gonna talk about. No, it isn't. It's gonna be the next one.
No, I have an
I think.
Don't do any of those. Don't do any of those.
It's great when you can aim, spray, and pray. Yeah, I get that too, but honestly, when I'm looking at things and variables that I can control, I want to have typically the most accurate gun. Now, there's some games that I've played, Soldier Front 2, for example, where the bullets are pretty much like a laser. They kind of move around in a small circle at later spray patterns. And I was looking at it as this. All my weapons in Soldier Front 2, one-shot headshot. So I want to have the highest fire rate, straightest shooting gun. And that ended up being the FAMAS, for example. And that wasn't one of the most popular weapons. When I'm looking at all the variables in this game, I know for a fact with how I've shot the Vandal that it is unreliable sometimes. Like, I don't know why the fuck it does what it
Straight
does.
up.
Right?
Straight up, I agree.
So I want to take away all the RNG I possibly can. And if the Guardian is going to serve me as a close, accurate shot gun, as long as I'm standing still, I'm going to probably choose the Guardian, honestly. I'm not saying do that. I think Vandal still has a place in the game, and obviously the Phantom as well. But I look at it on the balance of probabilities of what it is that's going to serve me the best with the least amount of variables that can potentially throw me off. This kid's I would watch a stream with this kid.
This is a non-god for real situation. The people I was queued with kept complaining about how he wouldn't shut up. But
Yeah.
it is pretty entertaining. It's a little distracting, but it's funny.
This kid's fucking cracked, man.
And he's good, and he's very good. He top right, I believe, or maybe I took it in the end, but he was carrying us when we needed him.
I think there's a moment next round where I say, okay, we gotta talk about it. So, so I think you're not gonna like it. She buys. Ooh, she bought this op skin. Yeah, she did buy it because Riot wouldn't give it to her for free. She did buy
I
it.
bought it because
Thanks.
I spent like 8 months staring at it and then wanting it so bad.
Confirmed by. Confirmed by.
Now that skin's gotta be top 3 up skins, though.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, it's coming up. All I said here in the comments was ouch in my notes. Everyone in chat, wake up. We're about to have an ouch moment. I can't remember what the ouch moment is, but we have an ouch moment coming. It's coming
I'm
at
not ready.
26:47.
Oh, yep. I know what happened. Oh, I know what happened. I hate it. I hate it because I had a feeling and everything, and I just completely ignored it because my teammates were like frantically commenting.
I'm
this
excited
guy.
because I haven't seen this in a long time. I'm excited. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I like when I leave these comments for myself. Oh yes, I know what's gonna happen. Oh, okay. Chat, can we guess what's gonna happen? Let's make a game out of this.
Hindsight, it feels so fucking obvious.
Okay. Lurk up, belong. Dink, got it.
Ding,
Bang
ding,
on.
ding, ding,
Okay.
ding, ding, ding.
Where are our threats coming from?
Fuck, man. This was so bad.
We can say probably here.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere here
We're all
right
pushed
now.
up.
Okay. Threats can be coming from here. Threats can be coming from here. And threats can be coming from here. This is where the enemy is. Anywhere past this line. This is our line of scrimmage. Okay. Here we go. Oh, chat's coming. Chat's coming in. Oh yeah, look at this. Chat's blowing up. Look at that shit. Look at that shit.
I panicked so hard I couldn't even think about pulling out my pistol. I was just screaming.
Okay, let's listen to how she reacts. It's pretty loud,
I
I think.
was so scared.
It's pretty loud. There she goes. Ah! It's like you know you fucked up. Ah no!
That was a guilty scream for sure. I fucked up and I knew it.
Threat assessment we can never assume, right? I think there's a couple of moments in the last VOD that we watched our student pull his knife out in an area that, you know, could have been a threat. This is literally the same thing that happened in your VOD. His was plat, right? And we still haven't picked up this lesson, right? This is why I keep saying to everyone, rank really does not matter, right? Rank doesn't matter. We all make the same we all make the same fucking mistakes, right? The key is to holding on to those ranks. We need to make sure we eliminate them altogether. We got to identify why they happen, figure out a protocol for why it happened and how to deal with it, and then let it happen to us about 5 more times before we finally let that protocol sink in, right? So you need to be hurt a lot more by this. In the future, you're probably going to be hurt by this again, and then you're going to realize, hey, I remember that one time I sat here with Worthy and we talked about threat assessment and where people could potentially be coming from, right? And then you're going to be like, fuck, I did it again, and that's when you will learn the lesson. We learn through struggle. Adults learn through struggle, and we need a lot more struggle. Yeah, in this particular moment, it's a fix for sure, Dink. But there's going to be other situations in other parts of the maps where this might happen to her. And we need to develop the protocol that's going to allow her to realize that, hey, it's not safe doing what I'm doing here. Yeah. In the specific, it's very easy to deal with. In the overall, we need to make sure that we know where our crosshairs are supposed to be at all times. Okay.
I'm playing for the close angle. I'll push up on site and pull back.
I wrote a paper on why putting yourself under stress makes you learn better faster, so I can confirm. I'd be interested to read that. It's the what I've studied on that is that it is the opportunity for most growth that we experience as a human is when we are in a position where we are uncomfortable. So I think that's along the same lines as stress, but when we are uncomfortable, we have the biggest opportunity for growth. Let's do it with Mylan surroundings. Allegro, you are going to have a fantastic conversation with my girlfriend at some point. My girlfriend's a naturopathic doctor, and she talks about all that stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The goal is eventually, with the Gamers Coaching Academy website, which is launching next week, I think, or the week following, is to have courses on how to deal with getting your best performance out of yourself. That being with what food you're eating, with how you're sleeping, how you're dealing with your workouts, your stress, all that stuff. So there'll be a whole list of courses on those things as well, and all the science behind it. So this is where, let's talk about suffocation again. Where could they be?
I'm in.
Yeah, they could be here. That's it.
My teammate already has control of, yeah.
Yeah, they can only be here based on the information that we've got. Okay, you've got full control over the spot. A chance they could have maybe lurked up here, but unlikely. So we don't have to press the issue here. They're contained. The moment you will end up dying here is when you give up your power position right there. That small movement forward. That one pace, because you've eliminated your escape route. Okay? If you played this angle from here and peeked in and out, they can't go anywhere. They're stuck. So they either have to decide to push right into you, and that's when you say, okay, they're rotating, I'm going to fall back, and you can play another good off angle, maybe just go hide in here or something like that. But the point is, they either come to you, or they have to push into 4 people here and make the play. Okay? So you containing them here is more than enough, just peeking in and out. But when you move up, you have to now commit to a fight, and this is now Christmas. Hear the bells, aren't you listening? Okay, we're gonna move ahead. Mikey wins that. Way to go, Mikey.
Let's go, Nike.
Okay. Here is the moment we've all been waiting for. I've already covered a lot of the stuff, but we're going to go through this. I'm going to give you a ton of tools because the biggest opportunity that you have right now is your mental, right? So we're going to talk about how anger affects our minds. And my chat's probably heard me say this a few times already. I know Devin has, and he's also learned it from my coach. Staying in the present moment. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about mantras, threat assessment, eco rounds, and your mentality behind them. And we're also going to go over one of the 6 deadly bosses that we will constantly be dealing with on a regular basis to affect our mental. Today we're going to be working on the victimhood fantasizer, but there's other ones that we'll touch on as well. Okay? Just for fun, Devin, do you want to explain the victimhood fantasizer?
Yeah. So the victimhood fantasizer is basically explaining someone who, like, rather than taking responsibility for kind of like what you did wrong in a situation, you play the role of the victims. Like, for example, like if you whiff a spray on someone or something, and then you immediately go like, oh, this game's shit, like
Right.
like
Like
this
me,
game is bad, like
all the time.
yeah. Rather than taking like accountability for like what you maybe did wrong, you choose to blame something else instead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So let's watch it out. It's going to take us a little bit because we have to watch this whole round. Let me just move ahead to the spots where it happens.
I believe you.
And then we're going to have Devin talk about what you need to do differently, okay? I already know what I want to do, but maybe he has a different perspective. Okay, this is where it starts. The fever, the anger, the rage that makes good men and women cruel. I used a line from one of the worst movies of all time. That is Batman versus Superman. All right.
It's great.
Okay, we need to listen up to what you say here because it's very quiet.
Oh. I was sure. Unfortunately, this does sound like I'm trying to get away from doing it wrong, but I genuinely was just like playing along with my friend who said that it didn't count.
We haven't
'Cause
gotten
it was
to
the
it
one
yet. We haven't gotten to it
Okay,
yet.
okay.
We're about to. I'm gonna replay it. Let's listen for another 8 seconds.
Every single time I've been peaked by the Sova, it's been at the worst fucking time possible.
Okay. I would submit to you, based on the VOD reviews that I've done with you and looked at your play, you are better than this. Okay? You're letting this Sova live rent-free in your head when you should be focusing right now on your threat assessment. What do you need to worry about this round? We need to stay in the present moment. We can't affect what happened in the past. We can't. It is what it is. He made a good play. We made a mistake. It is what it is. We move on. So what do we need to worry about right now? Okay? Sometimes in Valorant, we choose comfort over progress, especially in times of perceived failures. We imagined ourselves to be victims and play the blame game. Okay? We are currently blaming Sova for our grief. We're not blaming ourselves for the play that we made that we could have made better. Okay? And we'll talk about technically, mechanically, what we should have done. But for right now, this is the things that we need to identify. When we do this, we fight to stay the same. When you blame, you stay the same. That is a rule. Okay? We will oftentimes tell ourselves that other people in outside circumstances have victimized us as a way to avoid taking personal responsibility. We defer responsibility and avoid taking ownership for our contributions to the problems. Okay? What you are saying here is not a self-serving line of thought and will only serve to keep us down rather than fix the problem. So here is your solution. Whenever you're in a situation like this, because it's going to pop up again. When we play Valorant, we get minimum each game 13 scenarios where we can get tilted really, really quickly. So we need to get ourselves out of that line of thought right away. When you're confronted by this situation, you need to ask yourself these questions. How am I responsible? And then, how can I take extreme ownership over my mistake? Okay, how am I responsible? Even if it's not, doesn't perceive to be your mistake, you can still take ownership somehow. Maybe you didn't say a comm. Maybe you didn't make a pathing decision proper. Maybe you missed a shot, something simple, right? How can you take extreme ownership? How am I responsible for the things I blame other people on or outside circumstances? You can use this in life as well, right? Sometimes it could be something as simple as like, I put too much faith in my teammate to make a call when I should have been checking my minimap, right? That's on me, right? The first thing you do is you focus on you and take extreme ownership, okay? Let's replay this moment. Okay. Devin, what would you do in the situation?
What would I do? Like
Yeah.
how would I react?
Well, how would you, not the reaction, we don't have to worry about
Or
that,
how would I play it?
but how would you play it? Just so we have a solution, mechanical solution for people to follow along.
Well, I know I'm in a 1v5. I have no idea where anyone is. To be fair, the TP probably won't help me. So you might as well just gun out and, you know, pad the stats, you know?
Yeah, you just accept it for what it is. I was gonna say the other thing that you could do is you can throw a double TP down, 1-2, and then you swing it, and you can take the kill and TP out if you wanted. That would be another option. But yeah, you got to look at it for what it is. It's a 1v5, so you've already statistically lost this round. We just need to do as much damage as we possibly can. If we can get a couple ults out, if we can get a frag done or two, that would be great. Okay? Take it for what it is, for sure. Now, if we move ahead, the next point we're going to make, now you have your ways and your solution for dealing with those problems that you're going to have. Okay? The next step is talking about how anger affects our play. When we are angry, you may say, and some people will say like, okay, I'm not actually angry right now, but the tonality can still affect your mental, right? Even if you're not actually angry, it can still affect your mental, okay? When you are angry and you're out of control in your emotions, you are clinically actually insane at that point, because everything that you do, the decisions that you make, are not thinking with a full deck. You don't have a full deck of cards at this point. You're pretty much out of it. Okay? Your mental processes are going to be completely off. Your hand-eye coordination will be off. Your ability for fine motor control is actually going to be reduced by 80%. So every single movement that you make out of anger or out of any kind of emotion is a clouded judgment movement at that point. That's why it's so important to deal with these things. Okay? And you're going to see in this round how I know you're angry and how I know that you made these decisions because of it. Yes, 80%, Storm. 80%.
I believe it. I totally believe
Right?
it.
If you weren't angry, you would threat assess this. You would know exactly what it is that's going to be coming this round. Okay? This is where you died. It wasn't even the start of the round. You just weren't even ready mentally, prepared for this.
What? She literally ate the fucking.
Okay? This whole process right now, in my opinion, is you trying to generate a frag. Okay? You were with your knife out first and foremost. You weren't even assessing your threats right now. This is where anger comes in,
What?
right? Do we know if someone could be right there? Do we know if someone could be right there?
No.
Do we know if someone could be right there? No. Okay?
Literally ate the fucking. She's 1 HP.
Okay. I like that. I want to hear what you actually said. I really want to hear what you said here. Can you give us a Cole's notes?
I said this fucking soba, and I said it so loud that I like broke the fucking microphone. I was so salty that I got outplayed here.
Yeah.
Because I cleared the corner because he played it last time. I thought it was good, and he got me. I'm a sucker.
So you're in a state where had you been in a better emotional position, you might have actually won this fight as well. It's possible, right? We just want to eliminate all of these factors as being potentials of things that can hold us back, okay? So what we need to do, you've already heard how anger affects us. We need to develop a protocol so that we can deal with plays that don't go our way, lost rounds, games, etc., all that good stuff. Now, you told me in text that even when you try your best deep inside, you don't believe it. And maybe even in believing in yourself, okay, based on that by extension. So I'd like permission right now to mentally audit you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to ask you some questions, okay, to deal with the anger. Because the anger is stemming from right now, in my opinion, this play was based on you saying, I am actually really good at this. I know I can do this really well. I'm going to go for this, right? So things aren't going your way this round or this particular game. And we need to make sure that we put you back in the right mindset. Okay? So my first question for you. Whenever you're in this situation, when you were down and out, I want you to start auditing your mental of things that you've done in the past that have gone really, really well. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, are there things in your life that you've done adequately that you can say that you performed a 10 out of 10 out of them? Like a 10 out of 10 performance. Are there things in your life that you've done extremely, extremely well?
I would say I'm very proud of my career.
Okay.
My journey and just yeah, just the I guess the growth, the quick growth that I've managed to achieve is something that I am very, very proud of.
Okay. Awesome. Do you have the potential within you and the history of making 10 out of 10 quality plays? Let's use Valorant as an example. Have you done 10 out of 10 plays before?
Yes.
Perfect. Have you proven to yourself in the past that you have a capacity for higher thinking?
Absolutely. I think so.
Do you have the ability to be a 10 out of 10 teammate?
Yes, I have the ability.
Have you made round-winning communications in the past?
I have.
Have you hit shots that have shocked and amazed you?
I have.
Is it possible, with all these things, that you could reach this high potential that you've hit before again?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible that you could be even better than that high potential that you've had?
Yes.
Then is
I
it
definitely think so.
possible, good, then is it possible, knowing all these things and asking yourself these questions, all these things you achieved in the past, that you are currently lying to yourself in this exact moment when you're playing this round? Is it possible
I
that you are
see.
lying? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would submit to you, once again, I'm going to use my line, that in this particular round, you are an eagle pretending to be a chicken. You are undercutting your absolute potential right now because you are letting anger take over. Okay?
Yeah.
You have it within yourself to fly, but you are choosing to walk. This one game, this one round, this one death that is currently antagonizing you does not define you as a player and does not hold a candle to what you've already achieved in your life and in game. It is simply a moment in time that you are being tested with adversity. I've mentioned this already in the VOD. The path to growth in your own gameplay is by having yourself be put in uncomfortable situations. This is an opportunity for your growth. We need you to embrace this moment. Treat it as a challenge, an opportunity to get better. You choose to make this negative by choosing to react in anger. Instead of choosing anger, I want you to say to yourself, wow, this is a really challenging moment and I appreciate being put into it. This is a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I also want you to start developing a mantra for yourself when you get into these points, because there's certain points where it's hard to pull ourselves out of this negative mindset that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever had those issues?
Absolutely.
Okay. So with the questions I've already asked you, you've already proven to yourself, to me, and this chat that you have it within you to reach a super high potential as a player. So because we've done that, we can use this to our advantage. Okay. There's a couple lines that you can make. You can make your own mantras for yourself, right? Something that you can repeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I would say for you, instead of lashing out in anger, I want you to close your eyes when you get into these moments. And I want you to say, everything Sabrina needs is within her now. You just repeat that. Okay. Just say that.
I love
Everything you need is within your now. Okay. Another one that's really good, I'm going to copy and paste this for you, is Sabrina is a player with unlimited potential and pursues moments like these for growth. Just repeat that in your head.
I love that. Okay.
Okay. Have you ever had a game that you were losing so badly but managed to find a way to win? Has there ever been a
Yes.
moment? Awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Use this one. Sabrina always finds a way. Sabrina always finds a way. Okay.
That's great. That's great.
I'm going to challenge you to make your own. That'll be like your homework. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make
Thank you.
sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
This is definitely something I do not do.
It's going to be a challenge for you. Okay. And I
Yeah.
want you to embrace that challenge, because this is your opportunity as both a human being and as a player to get over these demons that you're dealing with right now. We haven't even talked about the other 5 demons, right? But these are the demons that you will be seeing on a regular basis in your ranked matches. They happen all the time. And we're going to identify more as we go along together on this journey. Sound good?
Yes. Sounds great.
Cool. Definitely rewatch this a few more times so you can really get all the information. And Devin, is there anything you want to add to that?
I think keeping a strong mental overall will be like keeping a strong mental will win you more games than anything, honestly.
Yeah. I'm
Like being
with you.
able to support your teammates as well.
I literally have so many examples of that. It's just like I know that when my mental is strong, I can fucking do the craziest shit. But the second I lose it, I play like a bot. It's just like
Yeah.
comical shift. And it's just like I know it. I tell myself that I should know that, but actually getting myself there has been very tough for me.
I think
No, it's definitely hard. Like it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think one of your triggers, based on what you've said to me today in this VOD review, is that it's very important to you currently, which I think you need to get off of, but it's very important for you to either impress or make people happy. Would you agree? That you want people
Yes.
to like you, right?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
By you taking this initiative to take care of yourself and deal with these angers and all these other things, you are supporting more people than just yourself. It's now your responsibility to take care of this because there's 4 other people that are relying and depending on you to making really, really good decisions in the game, right? So this is something that needs to be like number 1 of your homework, because it's not only affecting you, you have an integrity to all your teammates and all the people that you're going to be playing with in the future to make this better. Does that make sense?
Very well put. Yes.
Good. You even say it there. Let's play it again. It's another thing.
Making me so angry, man. I'm like 80% of his fucking kills.
Okay, it's another thing. I've talked about this in TikToks. Okay, don't look at KDA. Do not look at KDA. It's a one moment in time, right?
It's terrible. Yeah. It's a very, very bad habit.
It's one point in time. Do not let him live rent free. You're making the game easier for him right now. Okay. The other point that I was going to make is that the reason you know he's there is because you didn't take in the threat assessment that he's probably going to be playing far back. Right? He's going to play the bomb. He's going to play this ult. So
yeah, that's very true.
So you didn't take that in probably because you were tilted the entire way through this round, right?
Yeah.
So anger plays a really big factor. And you have a responsibility to your teammates to be in the best mental you possibly can be every single round. Every round is a brand new game. This is pretty much all the points that I had on here. I think I gave you quite a bit to work with right now, and I am a little bit behind schedule. So why don't we end here? This was 2 hours, and I want you to be able to look over this VOD. I'm going to save it for you. But before you go, I want you to tell me what your top 2 or 3 takeaways were from today.
I really like the so the way you phrased it was unique. I'm having a hard time remembering the exact words used, but just
replay it.
Taking notes of like what I'm thinking and how I'm reacting, choosing to react, and just like not, choosing to be angry, instead take it as a learning experience. It's like, good, this has been presented to me. I can learn from this. This is a good thing that I failed when I tried this. I can learn from that. Risk assessment, I guess, is like we've seen quite a bit of that. Yeah, having my knife out, my crosshair's not ready to go.
Yeah, that one hurt a couple times, right?
that one was a painful reminder.
Yeah, painful ones. Give me one more.
And a really good one that I liked was remembering that I'm taking care not only of my mental but of my team's mental. It's 4 other people there that I'm also affecting by reacting this way and letting things get to me. And for some reason, when you involve other people's well-being, it really nails it on the head for me. It's just like, sure, I can take care of myself, but I care a lot about taking care of others, and being reminded that yes, this also affects them. It definitely does. Is a very, very, very well put and great way to shift that perspective.
Yeah, the key for this really to sink in for you is finding what your triggers are, what your buttons are. And I think
Yeah.
one of the things that you have as a person is you're a very caring individual and you care about your teammates and you want to do really well. So you need to use this as a trigger. If you want to do well and you want to, do well for your teammates, this is a big step for you. This is something that you need to conquer. And I'm not expecting you to do it right away. Once again, you are just learning this stuff right now. No one's ever taken you aside and coached you on this, have they? At any point
No,
in time?
never.
No.
Ever,
So
never.
this is brand new, and I want you to be really patient with yourself in dealing with this, because it's going to be a really tough thing to work on. I still struggle with it myself. It happens, right?
Yeah.
But the key right now for you over the next few months, for sure, is identifying when it happens, figure out why it's happening, and choosing love, not war, right? We gotta choose. We
Yes.
gotta choose the path of love, right?
Of
Whenever
course.
whenever we have something that doesn't go our way, there's always something positive about it, or there's something to be learned about it. The universe works this way to give us the best lessons we possibly can, so we can be the best versions of ourselves. Regardless of how good or bad a situation is, there's always a silver lining. Make sense?
Very, very true. And it's funny because it's something I've said about other things, but for some reason, it's just like has not clicked with like playing Valorant at all.
Well, you know what? That's the universe telling you that this is a great opportunity for learning and growth for you, right? Is
Yes.
identifying and
Yes,
seeing
it
that,
is.
because you've already seen it in other aspects of your life. So now it's just a matter of applying it at that point. Awesome.
Very, very true. This was incredibly insightful.
Awesome.
for your
I'm,
time.
I'm glad
This is
you I'm
great.
glad you enjoyed it. Everyone, round of applause for Sabrina. I wanted to call you the teenage witch for some reason. I just got in
It's
my
okay.
head.
I don't blame you. I love that show as a kid, so I was very welcoming of that nickname.
Anything that you want to close off on, Devin, before we get newbie memes in here? And if you need to go after this, Devin, totally fine.
Nah, I think you have a lot of potential. Just always play to improve. Have fun,
Mhm.
vibe out with your teammates, and I'll see you in the Radiant lobby soon.
We'll see. We'll see. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, guys.
no problem.
This is
We'll be
great.
we'll be in touch, and I'll be giving
to
you a
think
VOD
about.
link and notes tonight as well. Once I'm done
Fantastic.
stream.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, one
Have
more
a good
round of
rest of your
applause.
stream.
Thank you. One round of applause for Sabrina, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Have a good afternoon or evening.
Awesome.
You too. See you later. Devin, did you want to keep going? It's up to you. I know that
No,
you're
I'm
probably
gonna dip out. I need to make food and stuff.
Yeah, I
I'm
hear ya.
gonna hit the Radiant lobbies.
Awesome. I love it.
Gotta go get some elo.
Sounds good. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for coming in and helping out today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a unique experience. I liked it.
Fun experience, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a different perspective. Some things.
It's always good to coach what you've learned, because then it ends up sinking in a little bit easier. So we're gonna probably get all of the boys to do that at some point. So
Yeah, I like that.
alrighty, well,
All
I'm
right.
gonna end this call, and then I'm gonna make a call with my next guy. So you have yourself a great night, and then we'll move on to the next VOD.
Yeah, you too, sir. Have fun.
See ya. All right, we've got our next VOD is going to be a bronze VOD, bronze 1. I'm going to give him a call right now. Let's get right into it. Newbie Beans, how are you?
Doing well. All right. I'm setting everything up. I got my turning on my face cam. I am